Have you applied for or considered applying for a loan in the last 6 months? Do you know your credit score? Or when was the last time that you checked your credit report? Jane Mazimba here, personal finance coach and strategist, and for Financial Literacy Week 2024, I'm collaborating with TransUnion Zambia to give you all the gist around credit bureaus, your credit reports, and all that good stuff. Most of us, Zambians especially, and most Africans except a few countries, really do not think that we have a credit reporting system. We assume credit reports are for westernized countries, Europe and the USA. But even in Zambia, each one of us who interacts in the financial sector ends up with a credit score and a credit report. And that affects what kind of credit you're able to access, especially if you are a young person who's still growing, still building, or you're an SME who would like to expand in the future. These are things that are going to affect you. So let's start from what is a credit bureau. A credit bureau is basically an institution that collects information about how we as individual citizens operate in the financial sector. So how we use money, how we pay back credit. So this data is collected from various different sources like banks, microfinance, and other vendors that sell services and goods on credit, like your furniture stores, even the telecoms, because we're able to access loans on our phones and things like that. So then the credit bureau will collect all that data. They create reports, they give each person a credit scoring, and they're also able to share this information back to other institutions that are interested in credit. So let's take, for instance, you're a Jane Mazimba and you have decided that it is time to purchase a house. You don't want to build, or you don't have the financing to build a loan, but you have a stable income somewhere. So you decide, let me go to a bank and get a mortgage, or let me go and get a home loan. So I go to the bank. The bank, before they lend to me to establish whether or not I'm actually credit worthy, what they're going to do is they are then going to reach out to an institution like TransUnion in Zambia and ask for my credit report to see what I've been doing. Now imagine I'm applying for a mortgage of 1 million kwachas, for instance. I want to build a house, and then they find that I had borrowed 5,000 kwacha from one of the telecoms companies and I haven't paid it back. That messes with my credit score. And what that does with your credit score is it shows that you're not trustworthy or you're not responsible. So it starts affecting how the bank is going to interact with you. If you've got too many negatives on your report, they might say, we don't want to interact with Jane on a financial basis. Or they might say, oh, Jane doesn't really pay back on time. She's a little bit difficult. So instead of the normal interest rate, because she's of higher risk, we'll increase the interest rate that we offer her when she accesses her mortgage. So that's actually important for us as we interact in this financial space. You want to ensure that your credit report is intact. You want to ensure that your credit score is good, because even if you don't want to access a loan or financing right now, it's something that you might want in the future. So it's better to stay on top of your finances, ensure your reports are clean. Lenders are usually able to access it at a very tiny fee. They're able to access these reports, especially when people go to them to request for credit. So in a nutshell, what does the credit bureau do? They collect information from the market about individuals and how they're doing with their credit and how they're spending their money. They also produce reports, and also they will calculate a credit score for each individual or institution. So what is your role as an individual in this whole cycle to ensure that you keep a good credit reputation? How do you do that? So you want to always pay your bills on time as they fall due, pay minimum balances on all your loans that you're owing. If you can, pay extra if you're trying to pay them off quicker, especially if you've gone consumer debt. And then if you're unable to pay your bills on time, you have defaulted on a month, or maybe you're foreseeing that there's going to be some financial instability in your future and you might not be able to settle those bills, is don't hide. you reach out to the financial institution in advance. Reach out to your bankers, reach out to the microfins, reach out to whatever institution and tell them, listen, I've lost my job, or this tragedy has happened. I won't be able to service this at this rate anymore. What they're able to do, they're there to help you actually. They're not here to make your life miserable. They're able to help you restructure your loan, maybe lower the payments but lengthen the term so that you're able to make the payments that you can afford. Or some institutions might even halt the demand on your payment altogether for a couple of months in order for you to go and do what you need to do, and then you come back and you catch up. So always talk to your lenders. This will help you still keep a good reputation even when you go through turbulent times or tough times. You also want to check your credit score on a regular basis, whether or not you're borrowing. Most of us are on our phones. You're in a fix, you take a quick 1,000 kwacha, 500 kwacha on your phone. So ensure that you're checking your credit report regularly. TransUnion does allow for a free credit check on an annual basis, and if you want to check more than once a year, which I recommend that you should do, then you're able to access your credit report at a small fee, right? So you can approach TransUnion and ask them for your report. Check your reports regularly, and if you see that there's any anomaly on your report, or there are things that you're not understanding on that report, reach out to TransUnion. They're able to explain to you the different sections on the report. They're also able to clarify. So if there's anything, maybe there's a loan that you paid off but it's still appearing on your report, you're able to sort that out in advance. So that's how you keep a good credit score, and that is what you as an individual should be doing. Where do you access your credit report? You can access your credit report by going to the TransUnion website. There is a tab where it says get your credit report. Here you will fill in your email and your details there, and your report will be shared with you. If you're in the Lusaka vicinity, you can go to the TransUnion office at Sunshare Tower on 5th floor and just reach out and ask for your credit report from there. I like the in-person interactions because once the report is out, I can ask like, what's this section? What does that mean? What do these numbers mean? And that way you're able to stay on top of your finances. So I hope this has been helpful. I am putting more information in the comments, in the description section of the video. There are links to some articles that you can read up to get better information, as well as to the TransUnion website. So make sure to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. I post a lot more frequently there, but going forward you will be seeing one YouTube video a week.